What's going on, Aces? Welcome back to the channel. So I don't know if y'all have had a chance to get into this whole situation with the food truck titled Sweetly Seasoned. So as you guys know, Keith Lee is blowing up as a food critic on TikTok, and he is doing amazing things, blessing different restaurants throughout the country. So he goes to visit this food truck titled Sweetly Seasoned LLC, and he gives the owner, the woman on the left, a tip for $4,000. Now, he left explicit instructions on how to divvy up the tip. He wanted 1,000, I believe, to go to a barber who was cutting hair on site, another 1,000 to go to a person who was doing braids, and then she could keep 2,000 for herself. So he tells her to charge $4,000 to his card, and then once the money comes through, he was trusting her on the honor system to divvy it up to the people and then keep 2,000 for herself. You know, he wanted her to keep half. Well, people, you know, once the payment hit, I think it was a young woman named Sherelle, and she got into it with this woman's son in regards to the lady keeping the tip ultimately all for herself. She tried to keep all $4,000, and it ended up with her food truck permanently closing, y'all. So I'm gonna let you hear from her first, and then we're going to listen to Keith Lee, who clears up all the discrepancy, and then I'll give my commentary in a little bit. But let's go ahead and take a listen to the owner, or now former owner, of Sweetly Seasoned.
Hi, everyone. I am reaching out to you guys today because my son, he already called or texted, however, he got in touch with Sherelle and asked her if she can pick up the money. From what I hear, she is refusing to give it. So now I am asking, and I'm asking my followers to please tag her and tell her Sweetly Seasoned is asking her to please come pick up their money. Okay? I am here on Forest Lane in Ardelia Road. Please. And also, if you guys want to come out and support, please, I am here. I'm not going anywhere. All right. Thank you.
Okay, so this is what happened, right? Sherelle made this like 10-minute video, which y'all can go to her TikTok and check it out. But basically, like I said, the woman who just spoke, she was pretty much keeping the money, hoarding the money for herself. Okay. And Sherelle was like, you know what? You don't even have to give me my cut. Just give my brother his cut, because, you know, he was there cutting hair on site. And the woman refused to do so. She said that she would only do so if she heard it from Keith Lee himself, right? So let's go ahead and listen to Mr. Lee and what he had to say about the whole thing, because he clears up any kind of discrepancy or, you know, playing phone tag, telephone, any miscommunication. He shuts all that down.
Talk about, but there are a few conflated and confused things that's going around about the situation. So let's talk about them. 3 days ago, me and my family went to Sweetly Seasoned food truck. Number one, nobody had any idea we was coming. They found out we was in Dallas like everybody else found out we was in Dallas because we was posting videos in Dallas. So in hopes of us coming, they had t-shirts made and they was on live all day. So me and my family went in cahoots with none of this. We was all under the impression that they were a team, and this was a normal routine for them. The barber being there, the braider being there, family being there, a lot of people being there. This is our first time here. We are customers. We have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. Number two, I was never under the impression that haircuts was free. Again, my family was watching the lives. We knew that he was cutting hair for $40. So when we walked up and I said I want to get $1,000 to the barber to do free haircuts and $1,000 to the braider to braid hair, it was because in the original video, the son said it was slow due to marketing. That's marketing. God willingly, after we post the video, there will be a line out the door. If there's a line out the door and there's a barber and a braider doing hair while people are waiting, that's marketing. So again, it's in the hood. You play some music, you cutting hair, you braiding hair, y'all all sitting out, y'all having fun. It's a parking lot barbecue. So again, we don't know the behind the scenes if they knew each other, if they didn't know each other. And the reason why I didn't pay everybody individually, the interaction that you see looked longer than what it was. It was really only like a 5-minute interaction. Within that 5 minutes, 30 to 40 people pulled up. They was pulling up in droves. That parking lot was getting deep fast. And for me and my family safety in general, I don't never carry cash around. And 9 times out of 10, if we tip, we always do it through the POS system. And even if we wanted to do it a different way, Zelle and Apple Pay wasn't an option because it was 4 or 5 people at the same time on live. So for safety reasons, they wouldn't be able to say their phone numbers or their personal information out loud. And as far as them taking my phone and putting their number in on Zelle themselves, I wouldn't hand my personal phone to nobody. So the POS system was the option that made the most sense. I've learned through this journey that sometimes it's deeper than the food, it's deeper than the marketing, it's deeper than the customer service. And this is one of those cases, in my opinion. Sweetly Season got a lot to figure out, and I thank God in advance that they do figure it out. The last thing I'm going to touch on is the son is misconstruing something that I said, and I don't appreciate it. After I said out loud in detail what we deemed the money to be used towards, I also said y'all can divvy it out how y'all feel necessary, meaning after the money hits, because it's a POS system, it don't hit the same day. Y'all can send it out through Apple Pay, through Zelle, through Cash App, through check, through cash, however y'all feel necessary to spread it amongst the team. I thought and I still think that that's a very clear statement, but it's being misconstrued, in my opinion, intentionally misconstrued, that I said and the mom and the son can say who get the money and who don't get the money.
So Keith Lee did tell her to distribute the money how she felt necessary.
I never said that. Regardless of what was going on behind the scenes, I felt in my heart to do what we did. So for the mom to go on the back end and disregard where my heart was at and what I felt like God was telling me to do in that moment and distribute the money how she felt necessary is 100% wrong in my opinion. I see the memes and I see the jokes, but I am not in the business of shutting businesses down. Her actions did not sit right with y'all and her customer base. That resulted in the situation that she in today. We just ate the food and left a tip. I pray in advance that everybody in the situation stays safe. That's my biggest concern. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. God bless you. Have an amazing day. Y'all be safe.
All right, y'all. So y'all heard it from Keith Lee, right? Basically, and now the woman's food truck is permanently closed. Basically, he gave her the opportunity to do the right thing. She tried to keep the money, the whole $4,000. On top of that, watching Sherelle's TikTok, she said that Keith also tipped an extra $800+ to feed the rest of the people because he said, again, the parking lot was filling up fast because of the braider and because, him being there in Dallas on live attracted a lot of people. So before he left, he said, here's $4,000, charge my card. And then on top of that, here's $800+ to feed, the crowd of people that have shown up. Just Christ-like. I really like Keith Lee, okay? Feeding the people in the crowds with the loaves and the fishes in the Sweetly Season. But in all seriousness, Sherelle said, and she was one of the workers from the owner of Sweetly Season before she quit. She said that the lady said, okay, after this third person in line, you're going to have to start charging them again. Meaning not only did she keep the $4,000, but she also kept the money that Keith had allocated to feed the people who were there waiting. In Nene Leak's voice, as she says, you can never win when you're playing dirty, honey, because let me tell you something. The Keith Lee effect is real. A lot of the businesses that we have seen, his social media presence is really strong. And almost every single business, with the exception of Atlanta, because of their poor customer service, but every single business that he has visited or touched, he's changed their lives. Their businesses have blossomed and grown. And if she had not tried to hoard that money and keep it for herself, she could have made many times over that $4,000. But instead, it had the opposite effect that she was looking for. And she ended up just shutting her food truck down. I think they said that she was out there waiting for around 3 hours and not one person showed up. Because here's the thing, right? When you do people grimy, this is a free market and they have a right to boycott your business. And trust and believe, one thing that I love about our community is that we are going back to those roots of boycotting, and speaking with our dollars, right? On the other hand, when you treat people right, as Keith has visited multiple businesses, he said one of his favorite cities was in Houston. And, the Breakfast Club, which was already doing really well, the Breakfast Club, I've only been there one time. a good friend of mine took me, and it was amazing. And this was years ago. And they had super long lines, like amusement park long lines, but it was absolutely worth it. The food was great, the customer service was great, and he said that that was one of his favorite places. And their businesses have grown, you know what I mean, since then. So I hope this is a lesson that she can take with her if she decides to, maybe open another business or even change um, careers. It doesn't matter whatever industry you go into, you always want to treat people with respect, whether they're your subordinates or your bosses or whoever the case may be. As an entrepreneur, you are your own boss. So you need to have that highest level of ethical standards when it comes to business practices. Otherwise, you'll end up with a permanently closed food truck when you could have had a booming business in regards to, Keith Lee coming there if you would have just treated the people who were working for you right and just split up the money. He was giving you a $2,000 tip. Like, that's huge. All he said was, give the other half to the barber and the braider, and then, and it was 800 plus that he was given for people for their food. That would have gone into your pocket as well. So yeah, greed takes out a lot of people, unfortunately. This is a lesson that she had to learn the hard way. So I wanted to give you guys that quick story. What are your thoughts on what happened with Sweetie Season and Keith Lee? Drop down in the comments, let me know. Please be sure to like the video, also share and subscribe if you have not done so already. And I will talk with you in the next one. Have a good weekend, Aces. Take care. Bye.